What's up, everybody? Today is Friday the 19th, and I'm going to go over the trade that I took earlier. This is the NQ chart, or MNQ chart. This is the 5-minute chart, 5-minute setup that I usually take. Let me remove this so I can go over it. So this is the Fibonacci retracement tool that I usually use, and this is in my Patreon as well, and it goes over a little bit more in depth on how I use it and how to take it, but I'm gonna go over that today. Um, so as you can see, first things first, how I usually start the Fibonacci, it pretty much determines where price wants to go at the open. So if we're going long, if we're going short, because it doesn't really matter um, which direction price goes, because you can use it for longs and shorts. But today, with the bias was showing long from the overnight sessions. As you can see, we're pretty bullish through the overnight. Not a lot of movement, but we were still making higher lows, and there was a common area interest in this area right here. Um, but yeah, so everything was looking long, from the overnight bias and things like that. So at the open, I look for, well, I just see what price wants to do. So at the open, we had this big bullish candle, this 5-minute candle right here. And again, this is on the 5-minute chart. I only use this setup on the 5-minute chart. Um, so, and then what I do is I wait for the first pullback candle after structure was made. So this 5-minute candle gives us structure because it broke and it closed above all these recent swing highs. These dots here are the swing indicators on this is Ninja Trader. Um, so yeah, we had this big bullish candle, and this doji looking candle was actually a pullback candle. And if I stretch out the chart, you can see it did close red. It was obviously a very small closure, but it did close red. Um, so what happens is after that, I set the 50% off the first candle that flipped. So we had structure, market structure, the bullish candle, and then the second candle flipped, which means it started to reverse or retrace. And I set the 50% to the top of the price. So it's not where the candle closes or anything, it's at the top of the wick always. Um, and then I set my entry at the 61% level. So I want to enter on that pullback to then carry the momentum going back up. So as you can see, these markers, these are like those are the markers that I took to trade, as you can see right here. So I entered on the 61% level, and then when I use this setup, my first TP is always 2 levels up. So not the 50% level, which you could get out. You could use that as your first TP, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. So yeah, you can enter here and then get right back out on the 50% level. Excuse me. And then, but from all the back testing and things like that, um, my first TP is always at the 38% level. If price is struggling, I might move my stop loss to the 50% level and then just kind of like let it play out or whatever. But I generally don't do that. So today, just how like the price action was kind of working at the open. I was pretty confident that price was going to go to this 23% level, kind of with like no problem, because we had the big strong bullish candle at the open. Um, the second candle pretty much closed as a doji, and then we had this fair value gap down here. So all that's indicating more bullish momentum, and it's telling me that price is gonna continue to go up, kind of without no problem. So I was pretty confident in that, and then so I had my take profit at the second TP, which is the 23% level, right here at 556. I ended up getting out a little bit below that right here at this marker here. So if you do the math, this is the micro chart, but if you do the math on that, if you just set your tool on NinjaTrader and you just measure the price, it was $294 on with one micro. So I ended up taking 4 micros on this trade, which I think it hit for like nine and some change today. I think it was like 940 that I ended up securing on this trade. I did get out on the pullback just because I didn't actually set my TP, my sell limit, which I should have, and just got out here, and I thought it was just going to continue to run. So I closed my trade a little bit earlier than I should have, and that's my fault. It happens. But yeah, so I got out there. Very smooth trade. I think I was done right before 10 a.m. this morning, at like 9:55. So yeah, but this is how I set up the fib trade. If you're like kind of curious on how I set up the trade or set up the fib and where to start it to get these levels and the pullback and how to get in on that specific area. So I always look for common swing lows. So I'm looking long, so I'm looking for the common areas of swing lows, which in this case it was all this area right here. We have multiple swing lows here, 1, 2, 3, and then again here 4, or 4 over here, and then this one as well. But I always like to start at like the lowest one, just from that was a light that went off. Just from all the back testing and how many times I've taken this trade, and I pretty much take this trade every day. Or look for this setup every day. It pretty much plays out like 3 to 4 times a week. You'll have those days where the market's just choppy and it's just not giving you a setup, so it happens. So yeah, so I look for common areas of interest when it comes to the swing lows, which was telling me this area right here was very, it grabbed my attention, let's just say that. So, from all the back testing and things like that, we had multiple areas of interest right here, these swing lows. So that's how I start. That's where I start the fib, because if you know how to use the fib, you have to start here and then pull it upwards for longs. So, and then again, the 50% line always goes. I can extend these lines to make it easier for y'all to see. So the 50% line, like I said, always goes to the top of the wick, right? Always goes to the top of the wick, and then you set your limit order for price to come pick you up on the 60% level, and then you take it 2 levels out, and that's your TP. Obviously, if it keeps running up, those are just runners. So you'll leave a runner at the 23% level, you'll leave a runner at the 0% level, and that's pretty much always full TP, unless there's like a daily line or an unmitigated level up here that price wants to get to. So yeah, that was today's trade, and that's how you set up this trade. And if you guys want to learn more, I have a Patreon that's only $20 a month. Get in while the prices are still low, and you'll be able to trade with me live every day, and you'll get to learn how I take these setups. You'll learn other setups that I take and things like that. Yeah, we just continue to get this money together. There's enough money out in this market for everybody. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and continue to like and follow for more. Comment in the comment section. Any questions you may have, DM me any questions about my Patreon. Yeah, we just take it from there. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, and I'll catch you on the chart Monday morning. See you guys later.